Hello everyone. Happy Friday. If you see the little red dot up here, that means you are catching me live. If you don't see the red dot, that means you're catching the replay. If you're watching this on YouTube and if you like the content, make sure you like and subscribe. Ooh, I already saw a like go by. Hey Andrew. I'm gonna wait just a bit. It still hasn't popped up on my computer, so I'm sure other people still haven't seen it pop up on theirs as well. There we go. Make sure my computer's on mute so you don't hear an echo. Today we're going to be using the Heal Your Heart stamp set and the corner bouquet. And what I like about these two sets is they are both part of the Celebration catalog. So I'm going to flip through here real quick. Just a reminder, this catalog is only running until February 28th, and that's going to be here real quick. I can't believe this is my last live of January. I launched my business January 1st, and then it's already February. Ooh, I can't believe that. Alright, so these are the two stamp sets that we're going to be using, and both of these are level 1 products. So both of these are free with a $50 purchase each. And then most of the projects we're going to be using today, or making today, are also using this Oso Ombre paper, which is also free with a $50 purchase. I love this paper. And today we're going to be using the purple. We already used the green last week. We used a pink piece, and then we used a couple of the Bermuda Bay pieces last week as well. Andrew, thanks. I know the first time I pointed at the live button, I was like, oh wait, this side. Looking at it on the opposite direction is a little tricky. Alright, so let's go ahead and show you the projects we're going to be making today. So as always, I do have a gift box that's all set up, and it has the 3 projects, including treats that you can use inside the projects. And of course, these are just ideas. You can pick whatever kind of treats you want to put in them. So the theme is purple. And Kevin, you said your favorite color was purple, right? So this is the project for you. And this is, since we're using the Heal Your Heart stamp, this one is kind of like a, I'm sorry, condolences, wishing I could heal your heart. But if you wanted to make this project for a happy occasion or something else besides the Heal Your Heart sentiments, you can go ahead and just use a different stamp set and change the greetings altogether. So this is the card, and we're going to be using heat embossing today. We'll put this kind of close up to the camera, and as you can see, it is melted on there, and I wish you could like feel through the camera because it is textured, and it just feels so cool with this stamp set because there's so many details. It almost feels like, do you remember those, like, I think they still have them, those like velvety color posters that you could do, and it had velvet on the outline and then you colored like in the middle? That's kind of what this reminds me of. And I also heat embossed the sentiment as well. And of course I wanted to add a little bit of DSP on the inside so that it wasn't just plain. And then, bam, we gotta add a little bit of stamp on the envelope, and then we have a flap to match. Here is the 3D. Ooh, I'm losing some little paper shreds. This is the 3D project that we'll be creating today, and it holds 3 Ghirardelli chocolates, and I thought this green looked really well against this purple. And this one just says sorry, and again that is heat embossed as well. Hey Tammy, good to see you. And the last one is the bag topper. This says, wishing I could heal your hearts. This would be a really easy one to change for Valentine's Day. This one's really quick to make. You could make multiples like within probably an hour. And then all I did was I used the purple dove hearts. And I thought that was super cute. Okay, are y'all ready to get started? I am so ready. Okay, so just a reminder, if you would like these make and takes, they are free if you order a $35 purchase or more by Tuesday, February 2nd, and you have to use this host code and you will receive these make and takes for free. So I did change up my packaging just a bit. I'm trying to use less plastic and less paper, which is funny because I'm a paper crafter, but I did get rid of a whole plastic bag on here. And the one that is included is the one for the treat, which is reusable, so cutting down on waste. But let me show you how it's set up. So once you open this here, you want to be careful because this is a bag for your treat, but you have the treat contents in the back, and then you have the bag topper contents in the front of the envelope, and then in the envelope is for the card. And instead of a sticker on the bag for the label, I've just printed it out on a piece of paper. That way you can hold on to it if you want to, or you can recycle it, but it's not attached to any sort of bag like a previous one. And then of course you also get a set of my stickers for your planner, so you can include these on your Fridays as a reminder to join me here. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's start off with the bag topper because that one does not include any heat embossing, and then we'll do the heat embossing after. So I'm just going to put those aside. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with our stamping, and we're going to be using the Wishing I Could Heal Your Heart stamp. And we're going to be using Blackberry Bliss ink. I always like to start with the stamping just in case it needs to dry a bit. And whenever I do fussy cutting, I do like to let it dry just a tad. And I want the darker on the top. There we go. So let's put that on the side to dry just a little bit. And you're going to see how quick this project is. All I'm going to do, fold that on that score line. Get my bone folder. Crease. Unfold so we can build on top of it. And then let's go ahead and attach our hearts. These are both punches and they work perfectly together. I'm just going to use a little stamp and seal here. Alright, and then we're just going to be layering our 3 other pieces. So what I want to do is I want to actually layer my leaf piece, and I can either layer it here so you only see half of it, or I can layer it where it's kind of growing above the heart. And I think for this one, I'm going to have it grow above the heart and see how that looks. So I'm going to use multi-purpose glue for this one. While I'm putting these other pieces together, how is everyone's Friday going? I just got done watching the new WandaVision episode. Ooh, I'm so excited for the next one already. I don't know if anyone is watching those episodes, but ooh, this one I think was the best one so far. No spoilers. But, oh, it was so good. Okay, let's take this piece and we are going to flag it. Andrew, don't worry, no spoilers. I do, it's really tempting to sign up for that subscription to read all the comics. There is a 7-day free trial, so I think I'm going to start off with that and start reading at least the comics related to the show and some of the theories that I've read online. After the episode, I did rewatch the trailers, and they were a lot more clear now that I've read some of the theories. I feel like I don't know anything because I haven't read the comic books. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my piece of Blackberry Bliss ribbon down first. And then I'm going to stack my little flag above it. There we go. And then my heart is going to go here, and I'm going to pop that up with some dimensionals. There's also a lot of references to a lot of the other Marvel movies, and I have been meaning to try and watch them over again. Maybe during spring break I'll actually do that, because I definitely want to rewatch them all now that I feel like once you watch all of them, then you get what was happening at the beginning, and so then you have to rewatch the entire series at the very end. Does anyone else feel like they have to do that with some shows? There we go. Okay, last piece is our sentiment. We're going to go ahead and fussy cut this out. You know how much I love fussy cutting. And I'm going to fussy cut around as many of the letters as I can. I love this writing. This is another thing that I want to practice, is my lettering. I tried picking it up once, and I bought one of those books where it starts like with the letter A, and then you write the A a million times. Yeah, I only made it halfway through that page before I got bored. So whenever I have a tremendous amount of extra time, I'll need to pick up letter writing again. Or maybe like when we're able to travel again, maybe that's something I can do on like the flights. What all do you have plans this weekend? Is anyone crafting? Running? All right, there's our sentiment. And this one we're just going to glue down. And there are some very delicate pieces, so I'm going to just do my best to try and cover some of those spots. There we go. Yes, puppy play date. I wonder whose puppy is going to go over to your house. All right, there we go. Now we just have to attach it. Remember, I like the closure to be on the bottom and the back. Let's add some stamp and seal. Just a spot there. All right, and then just attach it right underneath that fold. And this is ready for some chocolate. Quick and simple. All right, let's go ahead and start our next project. And this is going to be a little bit of heat embossing, but not quite the full shebang yet. So here we go. Oh, that one's for my envelope. For this one here, this is all we're going to use to make our cute little Ghirardelli holder. All right, so I'm just going to fold on each of these score lines. And so, see, this is going to be our treat. Just like that, and see there is an opening for the 3 chocolates. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to attach this piece of DSP right onto the front of that. Let's get it started. Come on, stamp and seal. Here we go. All right. Are you all ready for some heat embossing? All right, so we're gonna get started. What I need to do in order to heat emboss is I need my stamp, of course, and I'm using this Sorry for Your Loss stamp, but I'm only going to use the sorry word. I need some white Stampin' Emboss powder. And this is what it looks like for all the magic. I like to use a paper plate, and I have already folded this in half because I have used it before. And that just makes it easier to pour the excess powder back into the container. And then we need to use Versamark. This ink is slow drying, so it allows for us to add the powder on there. And I'm also going to be using an embossing buddy. Stampin' Up! No longer sells this, but you can find it at other local craft stores. But this just allows it just makes it easier for the powder to just stick where you want it. It takes away some of that static. So we're going to go ahead and just rub it on there. I keep it in one of our tins. And then I'm going to use this, and remember, I'm only going to stamp that word sorry. So I'm going to tilt this so I can see where I'm stamping. And I just want ink on that one word. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp that on my label. Let me hold this up to the camera so you can see it. Now I'm going to place it on my paper plate, and I'm going to pour a little bit of, ooh, I almost lost it. I shouldn't put lotion on before I craft. All right, a little bit of heat embossing powder. I mean, you could put a ton on it, it's not going to hurt it. It'll just be a bigger mess. All right, and then I just flick a little bit, and so you can see that it's stuck to that word. Move my powder, and I'm going to place it down. Now, if I don't hold it, it's going to be like flying everywhere. But I also don't want to put my fingers that close to this one because it's small. and I don't want to burn my fingers. So I'm going to be using my Take Your Pick tool. I'm just going to hold it down. Andrew said you've never seen heat embossing. I imagine it was like those old-fashioned seals. Oh, I have those too. Similar concept. All right, here we go. Oh, there's the magic! I love how cool that looks. Now, you may not have been able to see it that clearly because it's so small, but the next project we're doing is going to be large enough for you to see. But there is our sari. Okay, so on the front of our project, we're going to add this in the middle, but let's add some leaves. And it looks like one of my leaves has walked away, so we're just going to put the one on there for now. All right, let's use a little bit of our liquid glue just on the stem there. There we go. Let's add a dimensional. And right on the middle. So cute. Last but not least, we need to add our ribbon. And so what I did is I took the blackberry braided, not braided, sorry, striped, this one is a braided piece, striped ribbon. And I'm just going to, nope, you know what I'm going to do first? I'm going to add a little bit of Stampin' Seal. You don't have to put Stampin' Seal, but I do like to add a little bit just because it keeps it a little more sturdy. You know, sometimes your knots might loosen up a bit. In case this part that we add ribbon to loosens up, it's still stuck together, so your chocolates aren't going to be, you know, flying everywhere. So let's go ahead and add this one. And we're just going to put these both straight up, and then we're going to use our Mossy Meadow braided trim. We're going to tuck it under there, and all we're going to do is tie this into a bow. There we go. And then just move the bow around until you're content with it. That looks good to me. As I keep fumbling with it. All right, there we go. This one's a little too long, so I'm going to trim it. Ooh, that was not good. Hold on. There we go. All right, so there is our treat. Let me bring the original out so I can show you how easy this is. So you have your 3 chocolates. They're not even stuck together. And then all I have to do is just wiggle them in, and there we go. And see, my second piece has wandered off, so it should have 2 on it. I'll add the last one as soon as I clear off my table. I'm sure it's underneath something. But there we are. Another really quick, simple, and elegant treat. Okay, are you all ready for this last one? The card of this trio is my absolute favorite. So let's go ahead and start off with the envelope. that's the easiest parts to add the flap to. So we're going to go ahead, just add our stamp and seal. Add our flap. Turn it around and trim. So when I was recording these tutorial videos for the individual YouTube videos, I was really surprised with how quick these turned out. I thought this was going to be one of our longer Facebook Lives, but they all were actually pretty quick. I think I thought they were going to take a long time just because they're so elegant. I think it's the purple and the heat embossing, and then adding that Oso Ombre paper really makes them look elegant. Okay, for this next part, we are going to be using the Stamp-O-Ratus, or like Kirsten said last week, the Stamposaurus. I'm gonna start calling it that. All right. So I'm gonna wait to stamp the envelope just because I am going to be stamping it with Blackberry Bliss, and I don't want that to get on the clear stamping of the card. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my Oso Ombre paper. I need 2 pieces of this. So I'm gonna have the large piece and then this small piece. And I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the large one. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna pick this large corner bouquet. And then we're gonna be using the smaller one in just a minute. And let me get my magnet. So as always, line it up on your board and then add your magnet somewhere where it's not going to affect where you're stamping. And then you're gonna place that stamp wherever you want it. So I want it in the corner there. And then I'm gonna pick it up. That way when I stamp, it's gonna have the perfect placement. Okay, now we're ready for some clear stamping. Ink up. This is gonna be the fun one. You're gonna be able to see the change really well. Okay, stamp. Ooh, here we go. Do you see that? Now this one I didn't use the embossing buddy on because it is my background stamp, so you're not going to be able to see the whole thing, even if you have a little bit of stray embossing dots. I also kind of like it for some projects, and if you do want to make it even more pronounced, you could add some extra like clear pieces throughout, so you have a little bit more powder kind of staying behind. But here we go. That's what it looks like right now. Let me move that powder aside, and let me get this pretty close to the camera. Okay, here we go. Actually, let me hold this in my left hand. Let me drive with my right. Ooh. Do you see it working? So cool. All right, so there's the first one. Don't worry if you missed it. We are going to do one more piece that's heat embossed. All right, so let's go ahead and change out our stamp here. So I'm going to just take this one off. We're going to add our second one. Add our piece here, and I do want my lighter on the bottom. And then we're going to be using that smaller bouquet. Place it down. And then go ahead and pick it up. Let's add our ink. Stamp. And voila, we have a watermark. Now we're going to add our powder. Just going to pick up some of that was left behind. Flick off some of that excess. This one we are going to be fussy cutting out, so you can see I do have some stragglers kind of all around here, but you won't see it because I'm going to cut it out. Okay, so we're going to heat emboss this one. Again, let me grab this with my left hand. Okay, here we go. Oh, there we go. It is starting. I love this every time. Okay, there we go. We have our second piece heat embossed. And again, I wish you could feel this. It just feels so cool. All right, let's fussy cut this piece out. And I'm just going to do my best to kind of cut around all these really detailed pieces. It's going to blend in a bit with our background. But as soon as I saw these two corner bouquets, I thought they worked really well to add a little bit of depth on your card. There we go. And I'm going to pop these up with some dimensionals. There we go. Take our backings off. My desk is filled with backings right now of dimensionals. I really need to add like a little recycling bin on my desk. Okay, so there's the base of our card. Now let's go ahead and stamp the sentiment. And we are going to heat emboss this as well. And I'm using the We're in This Together stamp. I really love how the watermark looks just on its own. I haven't designed a card using it by itself, but after working on this project, I think I'm going to do that in the next couple weeks. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get some powder on there. Flick off the excess. And one thing that you can do, if you have some powder that's hanging out, you can use a small brush to kind of wipe away the extra powder. Just like that. Let's go ahead and heat emboss this as well. This one's a little too small. I don't really want to hold that one with my finger, so I'm going to use my take your pick tool again. Okay, there we go. Now we have 2 leaves for this one. Or not 2 leaves, 2 branches of leaves. 2 sprigs. And for this one, I like for these ones definitely to be kind of crawling on top of the label. I want this to look like this is a sign hanging up on your house and you're starting to have like these vines kind of grow on top of it. And I definitely picked 2 for this one. Since the sentiment is wearing this together, I wanted there to be at least 2. You know, you're not there alone. We're together on this one. So let's go ahead and add a little bit of liquid glue. Oh, thanks, Andrew. You like the 3D aspect of the card? And chemical magic? Yep, it definitely is. Weren't we just talking about that in class today? Chemical magic. I should show the students this. This would be really cool. I think they'd like it. Okay, there we go. And of course, we're going to attach this with some dimensionals. Ooh, that one moved. Oops, still looks good. And actually, you have to watch your placement on this one since it has holes. If you put them too close, they're going to show through. All right, there we go. And it looks like I got a little bit of adhesive right there, but no worries. Let's just cover it up. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and add this to our base. We're going to just add this to the front here. And you know what? Let's pop this up. More dimensionals. When I pop up a piece that is this large, I always do all 4 corners. I do 2 in the center, and then I add 2 right there. Take my backings off. I'm super quick with my right hand taking the backings off and kind of slow with my left. Getting quicker though. All right, let's add this here. Oh, so elegant. I love it. This color is just so pretty. Okay, let's add a couple things here. So on my inside, remember I did have a little strip of DSP. And on my card, I have the dark on top, light on the bottom on this one. So I'm going to do the same thing with this piece. Just add a tiny bit of, let's see, are you going to work for me? Stamp and seal. There we go. Add some stamp and seal to the back. heaven, yes, purple everything. And a very vibrant purple. Okay, there we go. Okay, last but not least, we do need to add a stamp on our envelope. So let's go ahead and bring our Stamposaurus back. And let's see which bouquet I put on the other envelope. Looks like I used the small one. So let's do that as well. And this does have a little bit of that watermark left on it. And I've just been using some wet wipes, not Clorox wipes, but just some baby wipes on it. Take the ink off. And then just like I did before, I'm going to realign this. I want my stamp right here. I don't like boring envelopes. Okay, where did my, there it is, Blackberry Bliss. All right, stamp. Ooh, needs a little bit more. Stamp. That's what I love about this Stamposaurus. Is that I can do it again. Ooh, that one was a little blurry. That's okay. All right. Here we go. So here's the card that we made today. Our little treat container. And our bag topper. If you like these projects and you want them make and takes, don't forget to place a $35 or more order by Tuesday, February 2nd, using this host code, and you will get the make and takes for free. I hope you enjoyed today. It definitely was a really quick live today. Yay! Oh, I love all the hearts and thumbs up. Awesome. If you are on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you haven't followed me on Instagram, it's at DinoDanielleDesigns. And lastly, this will be on my blog later tonight, and that is DinoDanielleDesigns.com. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next Friday. Have a great weekend.